to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's go. Be free with me. Be free. Not looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free. Be free.
Welcome! Right here, CRUSHIN COVID Daily. Thanks so much for joining me. Good to have you here. So glad you're here today. Good to have you here. Welcome to CRUSHIN COVID Daily. I love this song. Did you love this song? All right, May 31st. This is it. This is the end of the. This is the end. This is the beginning of the future. Let's go. I don't know why, but sometimes this song just reminds me of like one of those shows from the 80s. By the way, what was one of your favorite shows from the 80s? One of mine was, do you guys remember that show Growing Pains? Do you guys remember that show? That and a whole bunch of other shows that I, truly enjoyed. Welcome, CRUSHIN COVID Daily. So good to have you back here. It is May 31st. Woo! Wow. 31 days. 30 days total. My as I told you from the beginning, if you go back from the starting point of this challenge, if most of you have been following along, I don't know if you knew this was actually a challenge that one of my marketing coaches put out to me. and said, yeah, you have to go live for 30 days. That was one of the challenges. So we did that. We actually went live for 30 days. Even though it's May 31st, there was one day that I had to cancel the show, that episode that day, because my son was in the hospital. By the way, thank you so much for all the thoughtful prayers and comments. My God, I think we had over like 100 comments of people just saying thank you and wishing well wishes and all that kind of stuff. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, he's a lot better now, but on some he's on some intense medication that not really don't want to do it, but it's hopefully it's just temporary. So with that being said, 30 days straight challenge after today, I can now and submit for my review to my coach and say, look at there, it's been done. I'm really big into challenges, and I'm really not only for myself but also for my clients, and I'm really into them because it actually helps you to move forward and give you a deadline. And that's one of the things I truly think that really helps. A lot of people over the years, over the past 15 years, I've been in the real estate education. I like to call it like the seminar world. And a lot of times people jump from seminar to seminar to seminar, not really doing anything. And I think sometimes if someone would rather just plug into a challenge to get something done, they would actually get more out of a challenge than they would if they were attending seminars. So I've really been paying more attention to that, and we've been doing that more often. And I got quite a bit I want to share with you today that can also help you move along, whether you're just thinking about getting started in real estate or you've already been in real estate for some time, maybe you've been learning about it, but really want to build a business out of it, maybe replace your income, maybe do it as a full-time business. Then I want to introduce you to a few things. So first of all, I am Nathan Amaral. I'm the creator of the Fearless Millionaire brand, and that is a place where real estate entrepreneurs can gain more clarity, confidence, and cash flow in their life and in their business. And the way we do that is working from the inside out. That's the best way to build a real estate investing business. And we share a bunch of that over on our website. You can definitely get over to our website and learn more. We have a real estate assessment test, and we have free consultations if you need it for guidance. So I want to share a little bit with you about some of the stuff that we have available to you. And I also want to talk about the giveaway that we have that has now ended, and what's the future also of this channel. So also, if you are not subscribed to us over on YouTube, you can do that. You can go to YouTube, just type in Fearless Millionaire, will come up, and it looks like this. I will share my screen with you so you can see what the channel looks like. You will see this this pane right here. There you go. You'll see that pane right there, and you'll see all the videos that we just did for Crushing COVID Daily. A lot of those thumbnails are actually going to change in the next few weeks because my assistant's going to go through them and update them. We just left them the way they were for now as we're updating through YouTube, but so you can see that. But we have a bunch of real estate training in there for free. You can get in there. We do reviews. There's a whole bunch in there. And guess what? There's a whole bunch more coming out there. All you have to do is get over to Fearless Millionaire over on YouTube. That's all you have to do is just type in Fearless Millionaire. It comes up. Subscribe to be notified on all the free real estate training that we have for you there. It's a really great and great source. And by the way, you can leave comments in there. And I try to get to every comment and answer questions in the comments to help you move along. We do not analyze deals in the comments. I want to make that clear because we've had deals come in and we don't do that in the comment section. That's a little bit more in depth. So the next thing I wanted to let you know is we have, well, the giveaway, as you can see below here, has come to an end. It actually ended today. So if you wanted to enter to win, or if you still wanted a chance to play, I'm sorry, unfortunately, the chance to win is over. However, we will have spots in the future. If you want to be a part of our remote real estate investing training, it's a group training that we work on with very limited people. This is not open to hundreds of people. And it's very private. It's because we work with you one-on-one to help you become successful and build a remote real estate investing business. This is what I found has been the best way to build a business rather than dealing with the masses, right? And this is not a home study course. This is actually in the business where you can get questions answered and move forward in your real estate investing business. Even if you've never done it before, it's a great place to get it done. So the giveaway has ended, but what we were doing is we're giving away 5 lucky winners a chance to come into this group. People have paid over $2,000 to be in this training. So 5 lucky winners are going to get that for free. And moving forward, we're going to make some adjustments to our next group that we allow in, and it's going to be phenomenal. So many people have made money. A few testimonials. We had one person that just closed last week. They made around $11,000. We had another person that made $9,000. We had one person that made $27,000 in just our recent training. So we have more of those trainings coming out, and it's really great that people are actually making money while they are doing the business. So we're going to share that with you and share you how that all works and how to build your business that way. All right, so that giveaway has ended. Now we're going to announce the winners of the giveaway tomorrow. Okay, we're going to announce the giveaway, the winners tomorrow. So we'll be right back here. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about the future and what's going to happen with this channel and us going live, because we are going to be more consistent with it. The only thing is when we're going to be more business focused. I know with Crushing COVID Daily, it's been a little bit of what you guys wanted to hear. Some of the topics, some people ask me, what's your take on stocks? What's your stock strategy? What's your take on, building a business the right way from the ground up? What about protecting my business? How do I get started the right way? How do I avoid mistakes? We've covered so many topics here over the 30 different topics over the past 30 days. Moving forward, we're going to stay more specific to building your real estate investing business. And you can do it literally from anywhere. You probably heard me say this in previous episodes that I've been building a real estate business now for 13 years and now doing it in 3 different countries. And we'll show you, no matter if you want to invest in the United States and stay in the United States, or maybe you want to travel and be outside of the United States and still invest in the United States, that's fine too. I know the majority of you who are investing want to do that. And I know I do also have some friends over like in Uganda who are now going to start investing in the United States. And that's great. That's awesome. Shout out to the people that have reached out to me to make that happen. So that's really cool. That's called the diaspora. I don't know if you guys ever knew that, but that's called the diaspora. People who work remotely already outside of their own country. Now, if you're outside and maybe you left the United States or the UK, that's called an expatriate. So here on the island, I'll actually change the screen for a minute. Here on the island, I'm actually in a group of expats. Some are from the UK, Australia, the United States. We formed a Rotary group, and we created a new Rotary group. And I've been a part of Rotary for a number of years, on and off. I got introduced to Rotary when I ran for office back, I don't know how many years ago now, over 12 years ago. And went into Rotary. It's a great experience. You can meet a lot of great people. It's actually great for the real estate business as well, especially if you're raising funds for your properties, stuff like that. In addition to that, so I became part of Rotary here, and the Rotary here, and then it was kind of interesting. I shared this story I think I shared a story here on the episode where I was saying that initially when the list came out, because it was a brand new group, initially I saw the list, like there was president, secretary, and all these positions, right? And so initially I was like, oh, I'm going to be president, right? Because that's just how I am. I like, okay, go for the top. But for some reason I felt like, okay, no, don't do that, Nathan. Just let God lead and let it be, because initially, like, I want to run towards things. I'm always like, I'm very active and I run for stuff. So initially I said, you know what? No, I'm just going to let it flow and let it happen. This is a new group. And, because before I was very active in my other Rotary group, especially in Uganda. I was already pushing for, different, positions. So anyway, it was kind of interesting because I remember I was at a cafe and I was sitting with an investor partner and we were there, and all of a sudden I got a phone call from the now president, and he called me up and we were talking, and he said, did you look over the list of positions? I said, yeah, I did. And actually, I'll be honest with you, I didn't want to pick one because initially my first thought, like Nathan's first thought, is go for the president, right? And I said, I said, I'm just going to lean back, and I actually would like you, and Mr. President, if if you see a specific position for me, then let it be so. And he said, I really think the treasurer position would be a good position for you. And I started laughing so loud. Like if you've ever hung out with me in like face to face, I can bellow. I laughed so loud. The whole cafe was like, what is going on? And I laughed because um I just had that sense like, okay, I'm going to allow the president to choose. And it just happened to be that one. And I laughed. And he's like, why are you laughing? I said, well, Mr. President, I just had this thought, this impression that I was going to allow you to pick. And for some reason, I thought treasurer was going to be the position. And I just let it go. I didn't mention anything. I wanted you to decide. So he starts laughing. I said, yeah, I just truly believe that, I would allow God to lead you to decide what position you want me to be in. He's like, well, I think you're kind of good with money. So I was like, hey, let it be so. Let's make it happen. And so on and so forth. So here we are. And by the way, if you've never been a part of Rotary, it's really great. It's a great organization. And it's the good thing about it is international. So it works for my lifestyle because no matter where I go, when you are a Rotarian, you abide by the rules, right? You have like a code, and that code is something you live with, and that's something actually I apply even in my faith. Like there is a code, there's like rules that you should follow, right? It's like commandments, it's guidelines, and that really helps because if we look at two sides of the spectrum, right? Let's just take one, I don't want to call it extreme, okay? I don't want to take an extreme side because I don't want to, I'm not saying extremist, but there's one side that you can go all the way to the other side. And then you can look at the other side as like, well, there's people right now who are looting and rioting, right? I'm just trying to give a visual example, right? So people who are just maybe corrupt, who live more of an unbalanced, corrupt lifestyle, okay? And and that's really the difference. So and the other day I was thinking about this, I was like, wow, I'm so grateful for my faith. I'm so grateful for the values that I try to apply in my life, and also the associations like Rotary, for example, that try to abide by these things. Because hey, no one's perfect. I'm not perfect, and the reality is, well, all we can do is strive to become better people. That's it. We're not perfect. There's no one perfect. And my good friend Dave Seymour always told me. He said, I think I told you guys this story, but I'll repeat it. Is By the way, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know I'm kind of like jumping ahead, but by the way, if there's anyone new here, if there's anyone new who's never seen CRUSHIN COVID daily or been a part of the show for the past, just put new in the comments. But if you've been around, you've been watching, just say, hey, what's up? So I can say hello to you too. I know it's Sunday. Some of you are probably like, still sleeping, which is great. I actually took a nap today. But yeah, just want to say hello to you. So say hello in the comments. So it was a few I forgot how many weeks ago it was, but it was just during this CRUSHIN COVID where I was sharing, and I was just reflecting on the different avenues or vehicles there is in life. Excuse me. There are different avenues and vehicles in life that you can get plugged into to help make you, just a better person. So at the end of the day, hey, what's up, Jonathan? Good to have you here, buddy. Good to have you here. Hope all is well. And so, no one's perfect. So at the end of the day, we all striving to, become better. I think human nature, we all want to progress. It's just in us. It's part of who we are as humans. We all want to progress and become better people, right? So with that being said, it just allows us to seek and hunt. No one wants to like plateau. No one wants to be on this like, oh, my life is going nowhere. That's really an unfulfilled and unhappy feeling, to have that sense of feeling like my life is going nowhere. And so actually I realized that years ago, after I had like I figured out this plan. I didn't figure it out, excuse me. I learned this formula of goal achievement. Okay. I learned this formula of goal achievement, and you can check back to the goal setting episode where I told you how I met my mentor, Raymond Aaron, and he showed me how to achieve goals quickly. So I was knocking out goals left and right. It was just easy. It became, when you have a formula to something, it's like when you bake a cake, right? When you bake a cake, you have the ingredients, and if you do it right, you just make a cake every time, right? It's repeatable. And I found that formula with goal setting, and it's like it works like magic, right? You just keep getting the goals that you want because you're following a formula. And the reality is when you follow a formula and you get those results, it just makes you it makes you feel good, but two, there's also another side to it. After a while, you can become like, yeah, I know how to do it. So you plateau. You're like, yeah, I achieve my goals. One of the things I had to learn along the way was through Tony Robbins taught me that you can just strive for goal achievement, but you'll end up feeling unfulfilled. And so when that happened to me, and I was in my young early 20s, I was earning six figures a year, and it was just like everything was going my way, making a lot of money, spending a lot of money, and just but yet still feeling unfulfilled. So I had to go back and reflect on what I was doing and living, and I had to dive deeper. I actually discovered that after I went with through Date with Destiny with Tony Robbins, that I really had to dive deeper and I have to go back in history in my past to discover what that was. So I dove a little deeper and I decided and realized that I needed to start making my contributions, my efforts in charity a lot deeper and stronger. And so I've done that, and that's been a truly great thing. And it's an ever ongoing thing. It's something some people do it consistently all the time. That's not me. Like I know I'm not the person who is 100% an NGO director or 100% a charity. I'm a businessman at the end of the day. I'm an entrepreneur. I love marketing. I love sales. So I know that that's where I have to be. Even people will tell me like, oh man, this is great. That's why I've been hired so many times by so many guys in the industry to help them scale their business. So I know what my unique ability is. I know what my skill set is. But I also have this calling, right? I also have that calling. You can have a passion and you can have a calling. So once I discovered what the two are, I knew I had to go a little deeper. So you've probably heard me already mention some of these things here inside of the Crushing COVID show, and some of those have been right here. So I just want to show you this right here. You guys have already, thank you so much, by the way, for those who have donated to this cause. Recently, and you can check back also into our episodes, is what we did is we helped 11 teachers. I have a manager there in Uganda I have a few managers actually, one for our property company, one for our charity outreach. And it came back to me um, that there was teachers in a community that we've helped out. If you check out our YouTube channel, you can see some of these videos where we help out a community. We go in there not only with food supplies, but we also go there to help, with education. We go there and help with career development, resume, CV development, people who are needing additional help to build and raise up a community. Because once you can help a family unit, you can then build a small community. You can change an area, a township. You can change a city, a country, right? So it starts small, but everybody has to start with one. You have to start with one, and one, can make a big impact. So over the years, I've done a lot of different charity outreaches, but it's been growing more and more consistently because initially I started all by myself and I thought, yeah, Nathan's going to do it all. But the reality is when you bring a team together, and we're still building on and growing this, but when you build a team together, you can get things done a lot faster. That's another hidden secret formula to growing and achieving your goals a lot faster. So my manager recently told me that 11 teachers in a local school that we've been helping out with the kids in that community, because of COVID, they were hungry. Like they were like really, really hungry. Like hunger was an issue. They were on lockdown. They couldn't move around so much. And just because they were jobless at the time, because all schools were closed, they didn't have any income. So what we ended up doing was I myself, and then I put it out to you guys if you wanted to help and support, was we raised the efforts. And actually that link that's scrolling right there at the bottom, if you want to go there and continue to help support the cause, you can. Now we've already supplied food. As you can see in some of these pictures right here, you can see some of the teachers that are here, just some, there's 11 total. And then you can see some of the food over there that we've purchased. We bought a bunch of rice. There's just some of the food. We bought a whole bunch more, but we bought a bunch of food to help them to get them through 1 month because we knew the lockdown was going to release and they were going to go back to work and school and all that. However, if you want to continue to contribute to this cause, even if it's $5, $10, thank you so much for every donation that has come in so far. And what we've done is we've taken your funds and topped it up with our funds, and we've made more of an effort. And when I get back to Uganda, we're going to continue our efforts in what we've done in that community. And it's so great. There's some videos on our YouTube. You can check those out. So I do want to thank everyone that has donated to the cause for that. It really means a lot. So this whole part, it goes hand in hand with the charity outreach stuff that fulfills me, right? It's part, you have to understand what fulfills you in your life. What is the thing that just truly, no matter what, like you can have your job, you can have your income, you can have your businesses, but after a while, that fulfillment just like fizzles out. And so what am I talking about here? What I'm talking about is the whole premise is giving. The whole premise is giving. It's the foundational. I did an interview. It's actually a CD that sold on Amazon, and it was selling out for years. But the problem was I was selling so many of these CDs that at one point I had to send it to a fulfillment company. By the way, this was before Amazon fulfillment was around. So that's how many years ago this was, okay? This was, yeah, years before Amazon had fulfillment. So I had to send it to a fulfillment house because I was like putting all these CDs inside of these envelopes and then shipping them out. So I was selling like sometimes 5 a day, 10 a day, 20 a day. Anyway, it was the CD called The 7 Lost Secrets to Prosperity. And I don't even think it's on Amazon anymore. We took it down. We only have the MP3. We give it away inside of our courses in our training programs to help people grow their life. So that CD talks about a foundational principle called giving, right? And you probably know this principle. When you give, you shall receive, right? And that is so crucial. And I think if you're looking to grow your life, grow your future, increase your wealth, increase your health, increase your happiness in life, I think one of the first medicines that you need to take is called giving, because it truly makes you feel better. It really does. It gives you a sense of better purpose, a sense of who you are, and by the way, if you want to go check it out in the previous episodes, I share about a moment in my life where I decided not to give. I'll tell you what, that moment haunted me. It's still to this day, it still sits on my mind because of a moment I did not give. Go check it out in the previous episodes of this CRUSHIN COVID Daily. All right. Okay, guys. So I wanted to share that with you. Thank you so much for donating. I really appreciate that. And if you want to continue to do that, that's perfectly fine. And we talked about the giveaway. We talked about that. Okay. Yep. Okay. All right. And lastly, guys, I just want to give you a rundown on what the future looks like. What the future looks like, because the future is bright. And it's kind of interesting me saying that when the world over is, the world over is dealing with COVID, right? On a very unique way, right? Um, a lot of countries, a lot of states have released their lockdown, right? So who knows if there's going to be a second wave? Do you think there's going to be a second wave? I'd like to know if you do. I think there is. I think there's going to be a second wave. You can post it in the comments if you think there's going to be a second wave. I'd like to know if you also think there is. Second wave of meaning there may be another lockdown and similar experiences that we had. And when I say the future is bright, it's kind of interesting to say that at this point in time when we have Hong Kong, who's under protests on that side. Then we have on the other side of the world, we have all across the United States and many major cities rioting going on a major scale. And it's kind of interesting because then you wonder, if you follow the news, right? If you stay in touch with the news and what's happening and what's going on, it can make you feel like the world is grim and bleak and ending, right? Like this is the end. And I actually used to feel that way. I remember I told you I used to deliver newspapers. I used to deliver newspapers, and that news was negative news every day. And that's actually why I was so grateful when I found the books and the mentors and the coaches that I had at a younger age. because in the newspaper every day it was always negative. There was nothing positive. It was always, this is happening, deaths, murders, corruption. It was always negative stuff. So it was very easy for me to migrate over to personal development coming out of the news background, right? That news industry, and hearing all the negative stuff every day. So moving forward into the future, I just want to let you know that you can always come to here, Fearless Millionaire, as a resource for news. We have podcasts, we have our channel, our YouTube channel, and we have many more. But in these odd times, right? In these times of where it looks like everything's going to end, you need a source. You need a source of light. You need a source of that is going to pump juice into your brain and say, you know what, no matter what's going on around us, no matter what recession, depression is going on, you need to have a brighter outlook. You need to grasp onto something. And if it's not me, if it's not Fearless Millionaire, then you need to grab onto something. I would recommend anything from Tony Robbins is the most impactful thing you probably get into, and I'd recommend that because of my personal experience with him. So yeah, I would recommend that. But you gotta stay connected to something that's going to keep you afloat mentally, right, and continue to launch you into the future, because the future is bright. Remember, out of every recession, out of every time that there's turmoil and chaos, there's always a growth period. There's always a growth period. Whatever goes down, what is it? What's the saying? What goes up must come down, and whatever is down must go up. Things go back up. Things get rebuilt. Things get back. And I hate to use the word normal because I don't think normal is something to go back to. I really don't. I really even don't like the term. Oh yeah, let's get back to normal. I understand what that is in general, but I don't want to go back to normal. I want things to be different. I want, as we go back into our newer society, right? What I'm really grateful for about what COVID did, okay, to everyone is become more conscious about how dirty their hands are. That's like the blessing that I truly love about COVID, because it's unfortunate how many times it's like disgusting how many times I've been in a restroom and I see constant men walk out of a restroom without washing their hands. I don't care if they're from the stall or the urinal, it doesn't matter. They just walk in, do their business, and walk out, and they don't wash their hands. That blows my mind. I don't even get how you live your life that way. So, and if you do that, you're not my friend. Seriously. I have like OCD with washing my hands. Like seriously, I have to wash my hands multiple times a day. Like I'm constantly washing my hands. I wash my hands before I jump on the show. After I'm done, I wash my hands. I'm like always wash my hands. Wash my hands before heat. Wash my hands when I get home. Wash my hands. Wash my hands. I probably wash my hands about over 10 times a day. Seriously. And then lotion and because if you're washing too, and if it's cold and if it's cold out and you're washing so much, your hands get dry, gotta throw some lotion on. But at the end of the day, gosh, you gotta wash your hands. And this whole idea of like shaking people's hands, it's so funny because the only time I really started shaking people's hands was when I first got started in business and then ran for office, where you gotta go around and shake people's hands. But I never liked that idea because you're like, you don't know where their hands have been, right? So soap and water is a must, and that's probably the best thing I love about that's happened out of this COVID. I also think what's another good thing too is it's actually pushed a lot of people into working remotely. I think first of all, the United States was very behind in that area, very behind. Compared to the rest of the world. When we look at like the eastern part of the world, many people already work from home, or they were already familiar with ordering things online and doing things remotely. It was like a common thing, where the United States has slowly been picking up. I think this push, and I'd love to hear how I think Twitter and Facebook and a few other larger companies, and even some oil companies in Texas, technology companies, health companies, have now made this move. I mean, Doctors on Demand was just a novelty a few years ago. But like 6 years ago, when I was out in Uganda, it was like, oh yeah, there's only like one or two services. Now there's a whole bunch. Like telehealth and doctors on demand is like a thing now. It's like normal. And I think and I loved what COVID has done because it's moved a whole bunch of people by force, actually, right? By force to go into this more mobile lifestyle, and you don't need to go to that location. I'll tell you what. Um, Jeff Bezos said it best. I was at a conference and Jeff Bezos was speaking and he said it best. I wish I was closer, but I was like way in the back. I was like eating at the food table and I was watching on the big screen. But he made this comment that was just so profound. He said, because the interviewer asked him, he said, what do you think about the future of Amazon? And guys, this was a long time. This was 10 years ago. This was before they did grocery delivery, 2-day shipping. Okay, this was before all that. So he asked him the question. He said, when Jeff makes this comment, he says, I believe that the majority of people waste their time. I feel like their life is being wasted away in the aisles. And when he said that, I was like, what is he talking about? Like wasting their life in the aisles? He's like, yeah, I feel people go up and down aisles. They spend 3 hours a week or 2 hours a week, however many hours a week that someone would spend. He gave an average number. And he said, I feel like the average person is spending 3 to 4 hours a week in aisles, picking up the same stuff they would buy already on a weekly basis. For example, if I know I'm going to go buy this water, right? I buy 6 of these, 1.5 liters. I buy it every week on a routine. It's consistent. I'm probably going to go to the same place and buy the same water. It's just the same thing over and over again. So what he said, I see the future of Amazon removing and saving people time. Not only with our fast shipping that we're trying, at the time they were getting to that point, with faster shipping, but also without going to the grocery store. And I thought, my mind just went, I'm like, this guy's a genius. Now, it's kind of interesting because the idea is already present over in the eastern part of the world. Alibaba has already made that possible. People are already living this. Cashless society, not having cash, was already in the eastern part of the world 20 years ago, 15 years ago. And today, less than 2%, I think it's less than 1% of the population uses cash. They all use their phones to pay for stuff. So I feel like, the world on the West is kind of catching up to that. So what I really like about what COVID has done is pushed people, okay, through a virus to get online, to be more virtual, to be more. And listen, guys, please understand, I am not saying that people should not go outside of their homes. That's not my point. I'm not saying lockdown forever. But there's a lot of things that can be done, time saved, and people spend a lot of time doing things they don't have to do. And I'm not saying the greatest inventions have been to waste. Like for example, the automobile, right? I think cars are fine, but I think people waste so much time driving. Like, why do you have to drive your own car and sit in traffic and waste all that time? Now, luckily, we're seeing new leaders and new cars come out where people don't have to do that. I mean, I would love to hear the same statement come out of Elon Musk, where he may say, I want to save people, however many hours a week. I remember when I was in Los Angeles and living in Los Angeles, I was spending 2 hours a day, 2 hours each way, almost 3 hours a day, let's say 3 hours a day. It's 15 hours a week just sitting in traffic. Okay. When I was working in Boston, I was spending an hour to get there, an hour to get back. That's 2 hours a day, just driving. Okay. Not including traffic. 2 hours a day. That's a lot of time. And so what I see is what COVID has helped us to do is like, you know what? Get remote. Do you know there was more? It's kind of funny because for me, a lot of this stuff comes natural. Video cameras, working online. I've been remote for like a long time. So COVID for me wasn't a big change in my world. I've been working on the phone for many years. I've been working on a laptop for many years. So working remotely is normal to me. This wasn't a shock in business for me because I've been working remote for a long time. So when I'm hearing like Zoom Zoom service, the Zoom service is now exploding in growth, and people are buying webcams like crazy. It just reminded me that, oh, not everybody is online like that. And I love it. I really do, because I hope that the rest of the world can catch up and say, you know what? You don't need to spend that much time. You don't need to go get your groceries over and over again, the same ones you're going to buy. Listen, bananas don't change, right? Does that make sense? Bananas don't change. So the reality is, you gotta like make this shift to say, okay, how can I focus on what I'm good at, do my unique ability, and delegate the rest. And that's where I've seen amazing things where Uber has come in. We've seen Tesla come in with automatic driving for trucks and cars. We're seeing Amazon, people move to Amazon, flock over to Amazon now more than ever with faster delivery. Uber Eats. I mean, I could go on and on and on. And that's where I think that time comes back to humans, that people now recuperate time, and guess what? They can now spend more time with their family. They can now spend more time maybe going out to a cafe, just hanging out, going out to the park, just saving time, because what? Time is the one thing we can never get back. So we can choose to build our lives in all these different ways. That's why I love being remote. I can owning my own business, because I can literally say, I can work my schedule around myself and say, you know what? I'm going to do this with my family today. And it could be a Wednesday, right? It could be the middle of a day Wednesday, and no one's at the beach but me and my family, right? Does that make sense? You can choose to make those decisions if you live more remotely. And I love what Switzerland, was it Switzerland or Sweden? They just made an announcement. They're moving to a 4-day work week. I love it. I remember when me and my family were traveling in Switzerland, they only work 6 hours a day. Why? Because of the lifestyle. And so I think in the future that what we need to do is these changes need to stick. It doesn't need to go back to normal. There needs to be a new normal. It needs to be where people are now doing more things remotely and getting more ingrained in their mind that they need to either delegate or use services to help assist this process, or even to create something new. They can even be creators. I think there's going to be a bunch of new creators. I believe COVID allowed people to become more creators and say, how can I do this more remotely, more virtually? And I really think things are going to change. And I know a lot of people, I was hearing some of my friends, I was like, hey, what do you think about restaurants having less people? And we just had this conversation a few days ago. And now, is that a bad thing? I mean, it really, is that a bad thing? I know some people are like, well, now they're going to make less money. I mean, a lot of things are going to change. But I think once we adapt to that and we see how we can make these adjustments, I think the future is bright. I really do. And I think there's a lot of change that needs to come to the United States so that they can catch up to the rest of the world, where there's a lot more things that are streamlined in other places than the United States, and they can really catch up. Um, and I think it's great. I think all this is really good stuff. So it's unfortunate how many lives were lost. Even some of my family friends that I knew, growing up, have lost their lives to COVID, and it's unfortunate. It really is. And it's unfortunate for all the family members who died without saying goodbye to their family members. Those were horrible stories, right? To your grandmother, your grandfather lost loved ones who you had to say goodbye through a window, or I remember I saw one son say goodbye to his mom through a walkie-talkie. Like, what? That's just horrible, right? So those are unfortunate situations, and those will not leave your mind. But it's really unfortunate. All we can do is, that just allows us to be grateful for what we do have, and to move forward into the future with more gratitude. So I think moving forward, these are really exciting times. And even though right now it looks kind of bleak, right? It looks kind of bleak out there. um, in the future here, my goal for you is to be more active in your business, so that you can attain that life of wealth and freedom, and so that you can attain and be your own boss, do the things that you want to do, when you want to do them, with who you want to do them. That is the beauty that you should have. That's the freedom that you should have. It's the opportunity you should have. And that really comes from building a business the smart way, not the hard way, the smart way. and you can do that. And real estate is actually a great vehicle to do that in, because real estate is the #1 investment vehicle that everyone should have in some way. It beats all other investment vehicles, not only for tax purposes, but for equity and appreciation. And also as a business, you can double dip. So if you have a real estate business and you use it for investment purposes, you can double dip in the business, which is really nice too. All right. So with that being said, guys, moving forward into the future, tomorrow I am going to announce the winners. I think I'm going to be here at the same time, same place at 11 a.m. Eastern, but I am going to change the times moving forward. Why? Because I can. I am going to change the times I start bringing the show here. We're going to have a new show name. We're going to be revealing a new show name. We're going to be revealing a new time that we go live. And it's going to be, we're going to be able to answer more real estate specific questions, helping you build your real estate business. So there's going to be a lot of new stuff coming out in June. I'm really excited for you. Coming out in at the beginning of actually tomorrow, June 1st, I'm actually doing a training on helping people. I have a Facebook group. I should probably show it to you in case you're interested. If you are interested in raising money or being in the multifamily apartment side of business, maybe you've never done it before, maybe you have, but either way, I have a. Let me open this real quick. I have a group on Facebook that you can go to Facebook and type in. Let's get the internet to work. The internet was working actually a little better today, which is nice. I don't know what happened yesterday. It was like really slow. So if you go to Facebook and you type in how to buy multifamily apartments, if you do that, you will find it. I'm going to show you my screen here so you can see what it looks like. And okay, it's right there. You see that? You can see like kind of like this is the picture to look for. Okay, when you go to Facebook and type in how to buy multifamily apartments, you will see this image right here. On the left is my good friend Stacy Conkey, and also in the group is her partner Jennifer Conkey, and there's also there's Gazel and there's Natasha. We have a whole team in there, and there's yours truly right in front of you, pointing. So what we do is we help people get started in buying multifamily real estate. So if you're ever interested in investing in apartments, this is the place to do it. You can go there and join our community. It's right on Facebook. And tomorrow, if you go into the events section, tomorrow I am going to start a training on how to raise money for your first deal. So most people think that, if I don't have money, Nathan, I want to be in real estate, but I don't have any money. Right? Well, if you don't have any money, that's okay. I can show you how to get started in real estate, even if you're not using any of your own money, or how to raise money for real estate. Because you've probably heard me say this before, that even if you had $100,000 right now in your bank account, eventually you're going to use it all up for real estate. You're going to need more money. Right? And then I also mentioned that if you had $100,000, or $1 million or $10 million, you're eventually going to run out and use all that money. So if you end up running and using all that money, guess what? You're always going to need more money. And there's a strategy that you should use called OPM, other people's money. And this helps you to build a portfolio of real estate. Okay, so I'm going to share all the details in that. It's a 3-day training. Get over to that that Facebook group. You can join the group, and also you can click on the events tab and get enrolled. It's a private training. It's not public. It's not live like this, but it is a live training with me inside of a Zoom training where I share you one-on-one how to. After that entire 3 days of training, I'll tell you what, you'll be able to raise money. Definitely, you'll be able to raise money. That's how solid this training is. And I've been raising money for deals for over, I think, 8 or 9 years now. And I've been a private money lender myself. I have a funding company. We fund deals on a regular basis for our clients who are maybe just getting started, who are flipping deals, or who are looking for short-term lending, private money, that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in that, and even thinking maybe you have a mental block and you're saying, well, I don't have any money to get started in real estate, that's okay. Come on over to our group. We'll show you how to do that. We'll show you how to get it done. The future is bright. I'm looking forward to working with you in the future. By the way, get over to fearless-millionaire.com. We have a bunch of free resources on there. Take the real estate assessment. Download my free books on there. We have a resources page. You can get a bunch of information of resources. about real estate investing there. Guys, thanks so much for being a part of the CRUSHIN COVID show. You've also helped me, and you made it fun. You made it fun for me because I didn't think this was going to be a heck of a lot of fun. But as I've been going through this process, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed going live, and so now I can share this with my coach and say, look, here's my 30 days. We've done it. Because for many years I've been behind the scenes. I've been the producer. For many years, I've been a producer. Never been, I have been, but behind the scenes most of the time, behind the curtain. As I told you earlier, for so many years, for the past 10 years, I've been hired by some of the top real estate gurus and some of the top real estate experts in the industry, guys who were struggling in their business, or they wanted to make more sales in their business. They would hire me. They would hire me to help them get in their business, look at their presentations, make things better, help them set up their coaching programs, help them make more sales, train their salespeople. And I've been doing that for many, many years. And the good thing is, all of them have had results. All of them have made millions and millions of dollars over the past 10 years. Like I said in the previous episode, my clients have made over $100 million over the past 10 years. And I'm so excited for them. I'm really happy for them because now they're able to, get bigger houses and cars and all that stuff, and be able to employ a bunch of people. That's been a great thing. So for many years, I've been the producer behind the scenes, and I've only done either private coaching or private speaking engagements, and I've spoken. But this going into the COVID and into the future has also been something for me where I've said, okay, now Nathan is going public. Nathan's going public. But no, going live has definitely been a great first step for me to also bring the brand bring more awareness to the Fearless Millionaire brand. Because for as long as it's been there, it's been a very private brand. It's been a very quiet brand, let's put it that way. This is going to, in the future, it's going to become bigger and be able to help a lot more people have financial breakthrough and financial freedom in their life. So I hope you'll join us on our journey. Again, you can get over to our website, download our free books, our free material, and get started on your real estate journey, on your path. And actually, let me just show you the website, because I want to show you one more thing that I would highly recommend that you get involved in, and it's right on our website. If you see, there's this link right on top, right here. It says right on the top of the page. You see that red bar? It says the 14-day clarity challenge, right, for real estate investors. You click that link. Click that link on the top of the page, and it will take you to our 14-day challenge. I would highly recommend you go through that 14-day challenge. So many people have loved it. They have left raving reviews. They absolutely love it. It's a great place whether you're just getting started in real estate, or maybe you feel stuck and you haven't had a breakthrough in your real estate business. Maybe you've done 1 deal, 2 deals, 3 deals, whatever it is, but you really want to grow your real estate business. And there is some unique strategies in there. It's a step-by-step training. It's a step-by-step. Let me tell you, it will blow your mind. It really will. And don't take my word for it. Just read the reviews on the testimonials that people have gone through it. They really love it because it's given them clarity. And by the end of that 14-day challenge, you will have complete clarity on the direction you're going in. And I'll also follow up with you on a 60-day action plan that's going to help you launch your real estate investing business. Thank you so much for being a part of the CRUSHIN COVID Daily Show. This is it. This is goodbye. Goodbye, COVID. And I will see you guys next time. One last thing before I go. Just want to show you a video of my mission and why all this is being done. I'm so passionate about helping other people and building their life. It's all right here. So one last time. See you real soon.
So I was outside cleaning my truck. Yes, I still clean my truck. Lo and behold, FedEx comes, and guess what's inside? Let's see here. Oh yeah, my first check, you guys. Can you see that? $34,000.
You can do this. I believe in you. All right, give yourselves a round of applause.
With the Fearless Millionaire program, and before taking the program, I was having trouble being comfortable on the phone, knowing what to say to people, and just putting more money in my pocket. And I can honestly say, I am a fearless millionaire.
Here is Millionaire. Yeah, it's right now. This is a video right now. Hello. Bye-bye. Thank you. Okay, like this.
Jangan tinggalkan